All right, come on over here and I'll talk to you.
What's your credits? Let me have your credits, please.
Sir, I'll show you my ID. Turn off the camera. I'll show you my ID.
I don't need to turn my camera off. Why, you got something to hide?
No.
Okay, then. The camera stays on.
Okay. Have a good day.
You're refusing to give me your credits?
At this point in time, I'll call my supervisor down here. Okay?
Okay.
I heard you were an issue with them earlier. Okay?
I'm an issue with them earlier.
Have a good day.
So I'm assuming this is the Park Police Department. You giving me your name and ID, sir?
Yeah.
I'm saying him. I'm not talking to you because you tag number 5DS7528, a Dodge. It's clearly that these individuals here are doing more than picking up the park trash. They're out here playing with this camera and they're surveilling the area. It's the second time they've been out here. They're surveying this area and it's not for trash pickup. As you see, they're here putting this camera high enough so it can pick up the property over here. And they're illegal surveying the area. That officer, if he was, because he had a gun on him, and that's why I called him an officer, you can clearly see it's high enough to go over these bushes. They're doing more than just surveying for trash dump. Because why would you turn a camera just to this area? And he claimed he didn't know anything about the car that was parked there, and it's right up under this camera. And he said, "We have an issue." But you got parked cars parked down there. The gentleman already came and took care of this camera. So why are you back again? As you see where this camera is pointing, it has nothing that he says is on an angle. Why would you put a camera on an angle 8 feet up trying to grab a tag number off a vehicle? This is what I mean by these individuals. If he wasn't doing nothing wrong, why didn't he give his badge number, his credits, when I asked for him, and then got the nerve to tell me, turn off the camera? There's something else going on back here. This has nothing to do with trash. You're trying to intimidate. Now I know. He says this camera right here is not theirs. Okay? He says that camera's theirs. And this camera is theirs. And he couldn't get the tag number off of it. Well, if you're pointing this camera here, right here, how you gonna get a tag number off of somebody backing in there? And that one pointing to my building down there. This camera here is not even pointing up the street to try to get the tag number. And that camera, which he claims is not his, which I'm pretty sure it is, is pointing nowhere in this area, general area here, as you see. And this is where most of the main dumping is. So now we have the park police, I'm assuming, surveying law-abiding citizens. All right. He says that camera. What's up, man? I'm finna take a picture of this thing. I'm not getting you. He says this camera is not theirs. So why would you put a camera 8 feet up a tree to clear some brush when all the, now mind you, he says the tree line is the parks, okay? Why would you point your camera into the town's property when the tree line is your property? This is the park's property. His camera is pointing over into the town's property, or what the town takes care of. This is the town's over here. So why would you point your camera over here instead of the tree line, which you have control of, and they're dumping up the road, There's more going on here, but we're gonna let some law people take care of that for illegal surveillance, because that's what's taking place now. Because there's no dumping in this area right here. It's all up the road. All up the road. So why would you point a camera in this direction? Today is November the 9th, and we've had 2 people come out here. I don't know who this guy was, but he was carrying a firearm, these 2 guys. And this tells you about the law enforcement, that they feel they're above the citizens who pay their checks. He felt he didn't have to ID himself to me, and then had the nerve to tell me to turn the camera off, as though I was going to do that. Just like the other one. You know, he's not pointing the camera. The Supreme Court, it says they have a right to lie. Never trust the police. Never. This camera is directly over these shrubberies to watch that door back there in the back. And if he wasn't doing nothing wrong, why not give your name? Bud. My name's not Bud. It's Sir or Mr. Show some professionalism when you're talking to the public. They love to use that slang, Bud. Or boss. I'm not your boss per se, but that's that slang that they try to use towards people of color, and people of color should put them in check. If you turn the camera off, we can come over here and talk. I don't need to come over there and talk to you. I ask you a simple question. What's your name and badge number? Since you carrying a firearm, you must be the police. And you messing with Park Police, from what the guy gave me his card, property. You see, I have cameras all around here, and I monitor this whole area. So I knew that they were back here. And why? After the gentleman who claimed he was a Park Police just came and checked the camera. And he talking about, well, you just got through talking to my boss. That's not the question that I just asked him. What I asked him was, what was his name? And give me his credit. You see, this is what I mean by there are good cops and there are bad cops. Good cop, Officer Moore came out here, was professionalism. This gentleman here, even though he was a lurry, he was still professional. These 2 clowns You can tell they dirty cops. Dirty. They the type that write up false stuff on reports, arrest people falsely. Now, I'm gonna see if I can get it. But if you can look, that's that camera over there on the tree, pointing way over here, and I'm standing at the door of my building. And that's the tree, the camera, just above the yellow trees. Let me hold still so you can see it. On that middle tree right there, go up to where the leaves are. You can see how high that is, where it's pointing directly over here at this door. This is an illegal act on citizens in the United States by law enforcement. And I'm gonna make some noise. He's right, I'm gonna make some noise about this, because now you're no better than the Nazis, the Germans who spied on their citizens, and every other third world country terrorist organization that spies on its citizens. If you saying I'm committing some kind of crime, produce a warrant to show probable cause for you to place let me show you, because it's irritating me again. Place this camera on a citizen of the United States, or anyone of the United States, unless they've been suspected of committing criminal acts. And my criminal act, if they want to say, is putting them on notice of why you can't do nothing about this park area and keeping it clean. Let's see what some people up on the federal government and upper administration says about this.